Okay, so my daughter just left. I feel so sad. Man, I feel sad. Fuck. Oh, a couple things. So she noticed, like a little while ago when she was putting stuff into her car, she goes, Mom, come here. And I was like, what? And she goes, you gotta come out here. And so I come and she goes, this is so weird. It smells like fingernail polish remover outside. I've never smelled anything like this. This is the weirdest thing. And I said again, I said, I keep telling you, they're doing something over here. They're poisoning us or something. I don't know what the hell's going on, but something's going on. I keep saying it. I'm not fucking crazy. And then last night, she was sitting on the couch and she was doing something. She's like, man, I am not even kidding you. I have never felt so, it's not like tired or exhausted. She's like, I feel so weird. Like she's worn out, like super worn out. I can't remember the words she was using. And I said, I told you, there's something weird going on over here. I feel like this all the time. It makes no sense. Where it's just like, oh my God, it is so much work to do the most simple thing. It's like, how can it be this much work? And I said, something, they're doing something over here. So I said it last night, and then, and she's not arguing with me at all. I think it's really opening her mind to like, okay, there's something going on. As I said, they do it to small rural communities all the time. Just poison the fuck out of them and see, hey, well, how's it going over there? Oh, well, everybody's got cancer and dying. Well, we don't know why. Well, it's new, we have no idea. Like, oh, we got a new disease. Let's go make it a safety issue. Like, it's such fucking full of shit. I'll tell you another thing. It was fucking weird as fuck. So she wanted to go yesterday and go to, it was a part of the lake where a walk, because the day before we went for a long walk, Stella has done 2 miles 2 days in a row. Fuck, I can't even believe it. She does it slow as fuck, but she fucking did it. And every time I would tell her, she was so funny because well, let me finish with the other part first. So we went, she wanted to go to the lake. And so we were driving to go to the lake. We get down there right at the turnoff to the lake. And so we're in Maple Falls, the little town. It's like 4 stores or something. And there's police. And I'm like, what in the fuck? And it looks like they're blocking off towards Glacier, going towards Mount Baker. And so I was like, well, maybe something's going on up there. Maybe they've got, I'm, of course, suspicious of everything. And so my daughter's first, and she pulls up, and the cop says something to her, and then she drives, and I was like, thank God I didn't like that joint. And so I pull up, he tells me roll my window down, and so I roll it down, and then he tells me I need to turn around. And I say, well, what's going on? And he said, it is the ski to sea. So from the ski loft, but the ski resort, down to the sea. So I don't know, would that be like 45, 50 miles on bike or something? But what is the bullshit? Okay, so this is Memorial Day weekend. This is a lake all people go to. Like, people who come on vacation. I mean, how many people go camping and shit on Memorial Day weekend? It's usually completely full. And so it's all that stuff. So they closed it. You can't go down there. And so then the guy tells me it's this ski to sea race. It's a ski to sea race. What the fuck? I've never heard of a ski to sea race. And when I look up, there's one motherfucking bike coming and turns to go down that road. It's like, this is what they fucking do. This is what they motherfucking do. They ski to sea. Like, just gonna all of a sudden, we're gonna make up this new race. We're gonna say it's happening this week, and we're gonna close this area off in order to control the people. It made absolutely no fucking sense. And then, if it is from ski to sea, they gotta fucking go down the whole fucking highway. And so we left there, and we went to go to the river, which was way further the other direction. So then on the way back, Two bikes on the highway. So why in the whole highway? Why is it only the road that's closed is the road to the lake? That's the only one. Silver Lake Road, that's the one that we're going to close on Memorial Day weekend. Then, what even gets weirder, so we go down to the river, and I'm thinking, oh, it's going to be packed, man. Nobody can get to the lake. It's going to be packed at the river. And even though we're early, it's still, I mean, we were there till almost noon. And two fishermen. And then I did see one woman. It was very strange. I don't know what she was doing, because she was just kind of standing like she was kind of lost. Standing, like, when you go to the river, there's like all this, it's all forest. It's like a field, and there's all forest. It's got all these paths through it. And then you go up to the river. So there's tons of paths, and she's just standing there holding a little baby, just kind of like she's lost. I didn't say anything to her. I was like, I don't want to, I mean, she could perfectly know what she's doing. So I'm not going to just insinuate that she doesn't know what she's doing. But when I passed her, I thought, I wonder if she's from some other space and time, and she's just standing there going like, where the fuck am I? That's what it seemed like. So, because it seemed completely out of place. Just this Mexican woman standing there all dressed, holding this babe. It was weird. And so, but there was no car. There was some cars. There was a few cars. But there was like, you didn't see any people or anything. So I was like, this is so weird. Memorial Day weekend, the whole area where all the people sit and stuff like that, where people are always hanging out, was all empty. Even when we left. And I was like, this is weird. So the lake's closed. There's nobody at the river. Then we come back home and we're sitting here and there's nobody. And I kept going, isn't this weird? And she was like, kept going like, this is so weird. And then later in the evening, it was like, I don't know, it was like 8:30 at night. Then somebody came by riding their bike. But I kept saying, this is so weird. Memorial Day weekend, and it's this quiet. It's very strange. And then I just was on TikTok Live when I was waiting for her to get up, and I saw this woman, and she was like, well, it's Memorial Day weekend, and I've got nothing to do. And that's all I saw her say before I went out. And it was just like, so people expect that they've got a lot to do on this 3-day weekend. They expect that they've got things to do, but then there's nothing going on. I don't know. Maybe there was some big thing and everybody was there and I didn't know. And the racing, and so I started thinking, I wonder how many other cities all of a sudden just have some strange race, some strange, they got to, make their first annual race so that 10 people are involved. We're going to close off the area for these 10 people. There's so much weird stuff. It's so fucking controlling. I'll tell you another thing. I'm bitchy. This is just really, I'm in a bitch-ass mood about this, and I keep waiting for my brain injury to just take over, make me forget. I just want to forget about it. As my daughter's sitting here and she's shopping. She's on her phone all the time. And so she's shopping, and oh yeah, I wanted to say something about what we watched last night too. But so she's like, oh, there's a big sale on ThreadUp. You got to go on ThreadUp. So I was like, no. And then she kept doing it. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to go on ThreadUp and look and just see. Because she kept saying there's this big giant sale, 45% off. And there's a ton of free people on there. And I love free people. And so, oh my God, hold on. She's so dramatic. So she's like, there's a lot of free people on there. And so I went on and I found some things, and all the things I was finding, of course, weren't on sale. But I found this cute pair of trousers that I was just like, oh my God, I love these trousers. I want to get these trousers. And the only thing I kept going back and forth was on the size. And that is why I like to try clothes on. I don't like to just buy stuff offline. I like to try it on and make sure it fits. And so, and then plus when you buy it like that, and they make you pay to send it back and shit. So I'm sitting there going over and over and over it, trying to decide. And then I decide, okay, I'm going to get those fucking trousers and this other thing. And so I'm, messing with that. My daughter, I was like, do you have a code for a first time buyer or something? So she was looking on my thing, and the pant, they do a timer on all their clothes. So you can have something in your cart for like less than an hour, I think. And then it goes out. Well, I'd had those pants in my cart last night, went out, and they were just sitting there. So this morning they were still available. So I was like, okay, I'm going to put them back on my cart. I'm going to get these pants. I really like these pants. I just wear a belt. I don't give a shit. They're just so cute. And so then when my daughter was looking at my phone, it came out of the cart again. And so when she handed the phone back to me, I was looking on there and they had gone out, but somebody put them in their cart. As soon as they went out, they put them in their cart. So I was like, okay, let's just wait and see. Maybe they'll come out of their cart. And she bought them. And I was just like, oh my gosh, she was probably sitting there watching, waiting for him to come out of my cart so she could hurry and get him. And she did. I just keep trying to tell myself that, well, they probably will fit her perfect. And, they probably weren't going to fit me. They weren't meant to be mine, obviously, or they would be in my cart. They weren't meant to be mine. But it's just so weird how that kind of stuff, like right now I have some more stuff in the cart. And so in my mind, it's like playing badminton with that stuff. And it's weird how, like, I even told her, I said, it's so crazy. You tell me to go on there and look, and these things that I didn't know, I don't need them. I would have never even known they exist if I didn't go on and look. And now I feel attached to them. Like, I've got to have them. It's like, it's so weird. And, anyways, so I'm just battling. Like, I just think I just won't get any of the stuff then. I'm just not going to get anything. And now I've added this other cute stuff. And it's like, man. You got to get it, and you got to see if it fits. I don't know. It's just another weird thing of, I don't know. I just feel like everything just seems weird. Like, I feel weird. Like, I don't feel, like, regular about stuff. I feel so weird. And it is reminding me so much of when I got my brain injury. After I got it, I couldn't tell the difference between, what was real, what we think of as real, and what wasn't real. I couldn't tell the difference if I had dreamed something or just thought it, or if it really happened. Like, it starts being like just strange. I don't know how to explain it, where like something will come into my mind and I'll think, did that happen? Did I dream that? Did that, like it's weird. And so I keep having that going on, and I've got this emotional battle with these clothes in this bag. It's so stupid too, because I don't want to be a consumer. And then plus, what she was telling me too, so she is a professional, so she has all these professional outfits and stuff like that. So she wanted to do a resale, and plus she's constantly getting new outfits and stuff. So she wanted to, so she sold some to ThredUp. So she was telling me how it works, which even has me more irritated. So you send all the stuff to ThredUp, so all your stuff that you want to sell, and you send it to them, and then you get 30 days, and they mark it at a price point. I don't remember how they decide it, but they put it at a price for 30 days. If it doesn't sell, then you can either donate it to them or you can pay to have it shipped back to you. And if it does sell, so if they take, something that you spent $200 on, and you go and you sell it, and they say, okay, we're going to sell it for $45, then you get $1.50. And I was like, man, what a ripoff. That is very similar, though, to, that thing just went off by itself. It's very similar to a store that we had in Spokane called Plato's Closet. And it was a resale store. And then you could go and take your stuff in, your expensive stuff if you wanted to resell it. And then, whatever, they'll sell it for whatever, $40. And they give you like 50 cents for it. And it's like, oh my God, what a ripoff. When she told me that, like, she went on to look at her stuff, and they hadn't sold this expensive coat that she had. So she decided she was going to tell them that she wanted it back. And they're charging her to send it back. But then I said, look up, there's other resale things, like look up Poshmark or something. And so she looked that up, and that seems like a better resale thing if somebody's professional wants to sell their stuff. because it's more like consignment. It's not like you're just donating and you get $1 or something if they sell it quick. Then they just reduce this stuff. So they've got mass amounts of stuff and they will reduce it, but it's still, I don't know. I just, you think about thrift stores as being something to be better for the people or something, and it just is like the thrift stores have just become more rip-off corporation kind of things. I mean, even going to Goodwill is fucking ridiculous. You can go buy clothes at a retail store for on the clearance rack way cheaper than getting at Goodwill. And then when I went to the church thrift store recently, they had marked all their stuff up. It's like, it's mental. Like, y'all get this shit for free and you don't do anything. You put a tag on it. It's not like you're washing it. It's not like you're doing anything to it. And they probably throw a lot of stuff away even. And then you're going to come out and then charge us all this money to come in, and like, it doesn't make any sense. It makes sense when they're selling stuff for like $3, $4. When they start selling for $8, $10, $15, $20 for something. I couldn't believe when I went to Goodwill how many dresses were $25. Are you fucking joking? God damn. It just is but it is all going to keep being so disgusting and absurd as the corporation just exposes how corrupt it really is. It's just is so sickening. What was it? I just saw, there was something. I have all these things that I'll see, but I can't get them all away. But the movie that we were watching last night, it was something I wanted to say about that. Because it was the second movie we watched. We didn't finish it because it's a true, it's a true story. But it's about, it's called The Yellow Wallpaper, I think, on Prime. And it's a true story about women back in the 1800s. It goes with this woman's diary of what she went through for postpartum depression, but they didn't know what postpartum depression was back then. Women were just, lunatics or something. What would they always say? Hysterical. Women were hysterical. If you felt something, if you asked questions, like, you're hysterical. So anyways, it's about that whole thing. So I haven't finished that one yet. But the one we were watching before that, there was something I wanted to say about it. But it's so weird when I try and go through something else, like, to get to the thing before. Because we're watching something. Oh, yeah. It was a girl. It's a new movie, too. And it's a girl who, her boyfriend died. And so she starts texting him a couple years, like, she's just been sad. So she's been texting him. Whoever has his old number is receiving the text and falls in love with her. And so it's like this love story thing of, how they meet and stuff like that. But there was some really cool stuff in there that was like, I'm constantly telling my daughter, like, we'll be watching something and I'll be like, the soul stuff, but the stuff about what the soul is doing. And it's so weird because I know people don't understand what I'm saying when they don't understand that, because they're talking about the storyline or whatever. And I'm talking about, like, but why the souls would be doing that, why the souls are playing this stuff out and stuff. And there's such significant lessons in when a partner, like this young couple, like the one person dies and what the other person has to go through. And then they had another one too that she was talking to, an older guy, and his partner died and they had been together for a really long time. So it was kind of given that perspective too. But when you have some loss like that, see, you have to go through to appreciate life again, to appreciate being alive, to value certain things. Like, there's so many lessons. Like, I couldn't believe all of that when you're watching it. It's like, and I can see, like, the significant, like, why, it isn't about losing the partner. It's about everything you learn when you lose them. It's about everything you go through to grow. And the partner is not really gone. The partner's just standing out in the sidelines. You just can't see him anymore because you got to have the effect. You got to have that the realness of it. So you got to really feel the effects of it. So to go through the whole process, that's like part of the game is to really feel it, to have it impact you, to have it help you to grow. And so, oh, and this came to me yesterday too, is I don't remember. I was I was thinking about like the higher self thing and how the higher self is all these different. How I think people think like reincarnation is like you, but you go in and play different parts or something. It's not you. It's like you really don't exist. You only exist in this here and now moment. You are a creation of that higher self to experience. So you are a creation so that it can witness itself. And so I'm an aspect of something else. But the thing that is cool is this ascension thing and this conscious awareness. To me, it is like the consciousness of I am is becoming set in its identity of self. And it's so weird because I can start talking in these kinds of ways to my daughter, and she's just like, "What are you talking about?" It's like you'll understand soon. It's like you'll understand once you wake up. It's like it's just you'll start understanding because it's weird, but it's like it can sound weird, but when you think of it, it's like, oh yeah, that makes so much sense. But and then there's another thing too. Is I just saw this Jewish, I don't know if he's a rabbi or whatever. He was knows about the Kabbalah or something. Is their mystical religion or something? I remember a long time ago, Madonna became a Kabbalah or person or something, and it was all in the news and all this stuff about it. And I was interested, what is Kabbalah? And so I went and got a book. I got a bunch of books at that time of all different religions and stuff, but I don't think I read them all. But anyways, this guy was talking about the mysticism of the Kabbalah, and that you man, what was it? I could hear it so loud just 2 seconds ago. That oh yeah, because he said words, when you speak your words, you're setting a spell, which I've heard this a million times. And so he went more into that, and he said what abracadabra means is means like the words I say create a spell. I can't remember. He said it exactly, but it's the words abracadabra means I talk my words into being or something like that. You can look it up. And I was like, see, the mystics and stuff, the people who, the hidden knowledge is stuff like that. That's the stuff that they're hiding from us, is the significance. That's like when all these people are doing things to themselves they don't have to be doing because they just don't understand, because of things like that. Like the words, like you speak these words, you say whatever it is, like, oh, I won't. I think a big one that people speak into is aging. And what was it I had just seen too, where somebody was like talking about aging, and they were saying something, but I was like, I don't think that's right. I think we age because we think we age. I mean, I hear all these people saying all these, man, there's so much stuff that people, like, while they're trying to understand and figure it out, maybe that's all coming from, other beings, but maybe it's coming from beings trying to try. I don't know. But some of the stuff, like all the stuff that people are trying to put together, some of it just doesn't go together to me. But, maybe it goes together perfectly for them. That is like, you got to follow your own discernment. And maybe, all of a sudden one day I'll see like, oh, that all goes, I don't know which direction. If, that's why you can't judge, because you don't know who's right and who's wrong. And there is no right or wrong, because it's only in what you perceive. Whatever you perceive is your right. And because you're the creator. And we are what just really trips me out, I kept seeing that yesterday, is like, we are actually created for this. Like I'm not, Kelly doesn't exist. Kelly doesn't a real thing. It's not like Kelly's out living different lives. Kelly is this in the here and now. This is Kelly's time. This is Kelly. This is, you know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. But it isn't like, oh, so now Kelly's going to go live a life and be this. Now Kelly's going to go live a life and be that. No, it is that energy that I am puts itself out to experience itself in all different ways, in all different aspects. And the I am that I am right now is the expression that it is putting out. But that's all it is that it's an expression. It is, the Kelly that's created is created for this time. That is the thing too, is like where people have got to see is that you're created, okay, let me see, because I can see it in here. Let me see. Sometimes it comes in so fast, it's like blop. I was like, wait a second, hold on. And right now I have this guy, the one guy who, he's on a rampage, and he's just sending me tons of videos and tons of videos. And I keep having his, something of him keeps coming in because it was something he has said. But the stuff that he's saying, like, I don't know. When people send me like Dolores Cannon videos and stuff, you know, like it's stuff that can be new to somebody else is stuff that I have been seeing for a really long time. So it's not new to me. It might be really exciting and new to them. And then it feels like, oh yeah, that's old. Like I know about that. You know, I don't want to do that because it's new, but I don't want to sit and talk about it either. Like, yeah, I was talking about that a long while ago. I don't want to talk about it now. It's like it feels like there's people who want to talk to me, but they want to like tell me about what they've learned. And it's like stuff I learned like a long while ago. So anyways, and I don't mean that in an ego or whatever. I mean, I could if I sat and listened to all the stuff they were saying in their videos, and maybe they would say something that I hadn't heard before, and I'd be like, oh, yeah, that's so... But a lot of the stuff, it'll just start talking, and it's like, it either is going to interrupt what I'm thinking, or it just isn't in alignment, or it's something that I'm not, I don't know. I just feel really weird. I feel really isolated. God, I feel weird. The whole thing just, I don't know, my daughterly, I don't know. Everything feels weird. And I don't want to set the spell of making it. I really think it's important to think about like the words that we use and how we say them and stuff like that. And I know that people are aging themselves. I know we don't have to age like what they tell us. And I know oh my gosh, oh, man, this is weird. I swear, if like just stopping right now and just trying to gather my thoughts, I feel so weird. God, I can't wait till this is over. I can't even believe this is already, so this is Monday. So Saturday, Sunday, nothing happened. Nothing. Yeah, but it isn't the 31st and the 1st. Like, but there was so many people saying Memorial Day weekend, something's going to happen. So something could still, I mean, it's still Monday. I don't know. Something could still happen. It's just the weirdest thing too, is like, it is like okay, so the more things don't happen, like if you had two mountains and they had a bridge crossing across them, and it is like we're going across the bridge, but the bridge is breaking behind us and it's getting shorter and shorter. It's like we don't have that much time and space between whatever's going to happen. Like it just gets closer and closer to us. So it gets more and more intense as it doesn't happen. And it's so weird. It's because to the other people, it's like nothing is happening. Nothing is happening. Nothing's going to happen. Okay, so when nothing happens, are you going to stop? It's like, yeah, but it's going to happen. Like that is what is going to be so shocking to them, is they keep thinking nothing has happened, so nothing will happen. Nothing has happened yet, but it's leading us into where it's going to happen. It's just getting pushed up against the wall. There's nowhere else for it to go. This has to happen. And it's like they don't understand. It's like The money has to crash. It's already in the process. There's no going back. Yeah, but but it's like there's no going back. It's impossible. It's in movement. Like if a train was moving, could you just say, okay, nope, it's going the other way now? No, it's going to continue going the way it's going because the energy is going that direction. You can't stop something in movement like that, and they're going to try. That is the false flag, the deep state event, that they'll do, which could be today, could be that's happening right now in some other state. I don't know what's happening in every single place. But that is them trying to stop it. That's them trying to derail the train that's in motion. Is they're trying to stop what's in motion, and it's already in motion. The changing over of the financial system. And now I've got all these time travelers popping up on my thing. And I was listening to this one. It was this old man, and I don't even know all the stuff he was saying. He was born in 2012, which, that makes no sense because he's an old man. And so he's really from 2046. And I don't even know, but the stuff he was saying, because he was like, in 2027, there's going to be a crash of the money because the cryptocurrency is going to crash. And so maybe maybe that's going to be the end of the crypto in 2027. I don't know. But I know that we're not going to be waiting on this till 2027. I can't believe they've already gotten it out this far. Like even when I'm on the 1st, because supposedly June 1st, we can't pay our bills. Well, remember when that happened like 2 years ago in November. It was October or November of like 20. It must have been 2021. So October or November of 2021 that it was that they couldn't pay their bill. We were going on default. And so then they've already stretched it out that far. I've been shocked that they've paid the bills. Like, where does the money come from? Is this like Warren Buffett and Soros is just giving the guy like, oh, well, keep on holding on. Here, take another billion, pay your shit. Like, I don't know how they're paying this stuff. I don't know how they've been doing it this long. So, but now they've got this other woman, this global financial, whatever the hell she is, saying that we won't be able to pay our bills by June 1st. So we still have that. That's this week, or the end of the month. There's supposedly going to be some big thing with the crash of the financial and then the beginning of this other. So, I mean, even if nothing happens this weekend, that's just, a couple more days, which will still be intense days. I mean, there's still stuff. There's going to be, Joe's going down, like, and that could happen. And who knows how the things have to line up. Will they crash that and then take him, or will they take him and then crash that and blame it on him? Like, it's all going to go, it all has to fit together because it has to be so that everything is exposed to show this group of people the corruption that they were doing in order to take us down. So that's the part that we have to go. But then the savior is that there was the good guys who knew what the bad guys were doing and were trying to undermine the bad guys. So they were creating, another financial system that is based on the gold standard, going back to natural resources and stuff and not paying for. See, it's just the difference is there's the people who understand of God's law and the people who understand of 3D law. And I was telling her too last night, I said, the thing, because we were talking about the financial thing or something like that. I said, the thing is that there's all these things that are happening in the courts and stuff like that, but you have to know your rights. You have to know them. They're hiding the right. They don't want you to know your rights because they want you to just keep sending in your payment. And so it's when we start knowing our rights is when things start changing, and that's already in the process. There's no going back. It's already in the movement. And so, because she keeps being really concerned I'm going to lose the house. And I keep being, if I lose the house, it was supposed to happen that way. But I'm fighting in the system against what I know is right, what I know is my rights. But that is the difference of knowing your God-given rights and the human rights. The human rights are the God-given rights. The rights that they don't want you to have any rights. Like, they basically, I mean, what rights do they give you? And it's not up to them to give them. But anyways, but the people who are in that mind trap, that's completely acceptable position to be in. Like, they don't question the rules. It's just that's the way it is. And for the people who question the rules, you're just, you're, what's wrong with you? Like, why don't you just go with the crowd? Why don't you just try and get along so we can all just keep going on this conveyor belt? I was like, because that's not the way to live. You got to break free from that. And you may have less. And who cares? Because then you have what is really of value is your time, your peace of mind. That's where you have your value, not, rushing around, get to there, get to here. And how much, that is spent to buy things. Like, people all go to work so they can buy all these things. And then it's just all these things are out and broken or put in storage units and stuff. It's like the consumer lifestyle is no lifestyle. And then to sit and whine about, oh my God, and I have to work so hard and I never get ahead because you spend it all on stupid, frivolous shit. What was it? This was a really good one too, because I just saw a girl, and it's so much with this victim of, her thing, hers did have a better turnout, but when she very first started, because she was like, this is happening for a lot of people, but I'm the one who I go get this. I'm the one who does everything for all the friends, and I'm the one who is always there. I'm the one who calls. I'm the one who buys the stuff. I'm the one who, those people who are carrying all the relationships. And so this girl was talking about that. And then, but she's talking about now she's learned to set boundaries. And she just can't even get over how not insecure, just the rudeness, like not thinking about somebody else's stuff. Like, yeah, go pick up lunch. The person goes, picks up lunch. They're supposed to meet at a restaurant. Then the person, can't go. Just pick up the food while you're at the restaurant. Bring it to my house. Okay, I'll do that. Go to the house. Person doesn't come to the door. It's raining. They're standing there. Person doesn't come to the door. So finally, they send their message, I'm here, I'm at the door, and all this stuff. They're not doing anything, not coming, nothing. Then finally she goes, okay, well, I'm going to be here 10 minutes, and then I'm leaving. And so she set the girls' food down on the thing and left after the 10 minutes. And then the girl messages her a few minutes later, where'd you go? And she's like, I left your food. I'm gone. And then that was it. She was like, but she's like, I just can't believe how rude. But I have so many friends like that. And that's what people have got all recognized. But so you got to get out of playing that role. The role that you need to let go of is being the good guy. I do everything for everyone. I'm always there. I'm the friend who's there for everyone. I'm the one who does this. You're carrying that as a badge of honor, but you're getting beat down because it's not working. Because you're playing a role. You got to let go of these roles. These roles are just, they're things that you got to release. The parts of you where you don't want to just play a role. You don't want to just automatically, well, that's who I am. I'm the friend who gets screwed over by everybody. You got to stop that role and say, no, I'm not going to be the one who gets screwed over anymore. I'm going to accept the fact if my friends don't want to hang out with me, that they're not friends for me. If my friends aren't there for me, they aren't my friends. And, if I've only got one close friend, then I'm a lucky motherfucker because some people don't have any. And, it's a completely changing people's attitude. It's changing, and you still have the takers, I'll just stop, I'll just go get the food and bring it to my house. And, the people who are always wanting something. See, it's the balance, the yin and the yang. That both people have to shift their mentality. Both people have to stop playing the role. Both people. And if one person doesn't do it, the other person can still do it, because the dynamic can't continue if one person says, I'm not playing my role anymore. And you may, be able to stop in one group, like maybe in your family, you're the rescuer, you're always the one who does it all. And you stop playing it in that one, but still at work or with your friend group or something, you still are, it's all, uh, it's all things for you to just work on. Just, don't beat yourself up like, "Oh, I can't believe it. I've got another person fucking me over, another person taking advantage of me." Those are the things that stand out where you go like, okay, so I have these people taking advantage of me. So why am I giving more than I want to give? Why am I doing something I don't want to do? That's a good place to start with your questioning yourself, is because you got to get into the meat of it. You got to get into trying to identify, to figure out like why you're doing things. That's how you break the patterns. You can't stop somebody from asking you. You can't make somebody be different. The only person you have control over is you. And so you want to stop feeling the way you feel. You got to get down and figure out like, why am I doing things I don't want to do? It's because I want to be liked. It's because I want to have friends. It's because I want people to think I'm a good person. And I want people to look up to me. Like, you got to go in and then you got to go down below that. Like, okay, so why do I need people to look up to me to where the point I'm going to go do things I don't want to do? I'm going to be mad. I'm going to be resentful to my friends. And then, that's where you just got to keep going in and further and further and further. And then pretty soon you find something, and it can be just like walking through it and putting the pieces together is enough. And you're just like, okay, that's stupid. Like, I'm not going to do that anymore. I got to, set better boundaries. It's okay to say no to somebody. And especially, it's a good thing to say no to somebody if you're going to be resentful and hold it against them. It's not their fault that you can't stop yourself. It's your fault. But so many people, they think, oh, well, somebody asked me, so I got to do it, and then blame it on the other person. No, you've got to take responsibility. Yes, setting boundaries is difficult. Setting boundaries for people is really hard. And, sometimes you'll feel foolish, you'll feel mean, you'll feel guilty, you'll feel hateful, you'll feel a lot of different things. Those are things for you to work out, like, oh man, I feel so hateful. Is this how I want to feel? Is this what it feels like to not do what somebody wants? And then you got to question into that, go in deeper. Then you got to be like, okay, so this feels shitty, that feels shitty. So where do I find the balance? Where do I come in the middle? Like, start shifting around to find your equilibrium where you feel good, where you feel like you're being yourself. You don't feel like you're giving more than you want to give. You don't feel like you're being taken advantage of. And yet you're still being able to be who you want to be. And so those are the things, like every single person is getting all these opportunities to find those places in themselves, to discover who they are and find that balance. But you got to do it through asking the questions. You got to ask yourself the questions. Ask yourself to be shown. Show me this, show me that. Explain this, explain that. And just remember when they are, that it is a translation. It is it's deciphering a code. So, you can ask them and then you get some image that comes into your head and you're always like, what in the hell is that supposed to mean? A sailboat? What's that got to do with anything? No, you may have to ask them, show them, like, I don't understand. After a while, you'll start understanding. After a while, you'll start getting how they're communicating, and it will become a lot more efficient, a lot more seamless, a lot more quick. And so it won't be so much where you're, okay, give me clarification. But a lot of times I ask for messages and songs. And so if song can come on and it can start saying something and be like, wait a minute, what? That's that. Okay, I need clarification. You're going to have to clarify. What the hell is that supposed to mean? And sometimes it'll be clarified right away in the song and be like, oh, okay. So I just was a little too quick on the trigger. I should have just sat here and listened a little longer. So, but those things, you just, it's a development. It's a development between you and your God, your whoever you think it is you're communicating with. Yeah, just don't get too caught up in it, this God is separate from you and judges you, because the judgment comes from within. You are the judge of you and your higher self. Like, even if, when you go to your life review thing, when people say like they have other beings around them, sometimes maybe that is their higher self that is there with them, but it is the life being, the being that went through that life experience, that is the one who will go and go through it and see it. But that is what is always builds up these the cycles of return. But it isn't. Yeah, I feel like there's just people who just think like that we are this flesh and blood, that we, our own self, reincarnates in different roles. That, and it's so weird too, is how, but then they will think like that somebody dies and they just don't know them anymore. Like you never see them again. Like, you don't know who they are. They don't know who you are. It's like, none of that is true. None of that is real. Like, you'll know them. They'll know you. They're not far from you. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like I feel super weird. I mean, I don't know if they are. I mean, I have felt so exhausted for weeks now, where it's just like, oh my God, just to get up and move feels like I'm just trudging through quicksand or something. Like, it's weird how heavy everything feels. And last night, the DV people over there, they started in on a, my daughter heard him. I was like, that is mild. Like, but I keep telling her, I said, this stuff is just going to get more and more. Like, that's definitely a family I pay attention to, because it's as the vibration, is as the frequency, as it is the vibration, as we, as the people who are here to seed the new world, the age of Aquarius, the seeders of this new experience, is that everyone is awakening and healing and growing and preparing. They're raising the vibration. The vibration of the planet is becoming more of like, if you think about, the, man, some of the stuff I can see it, and it just, so if you think about, it's just like a flip of the group. It's like how we have been the crazy, weird, or isolated people. We've just been like the outcasts. And so it's been very uncomfortable. It's hard to, have conversations and stuff. It's going to flip. It's going to go the other way. So people like us, those are going to be people who are going to want to talk to us. They're going to want to hear about, like, well, what do you think about this? What do you think about, like, things that they were not as interested in? They're going to become more interested. So they're going to want to talk to people who have been interested in it for a long time. So, there will be that kind of a shift. But it will be the people who aren't interested, who don't care, who just want to stay back in the, I just want to go to the happy hour and I want to wear my new Gucci outfit or whatever the hell. That those people, that they're going to become more and more uncomfortable. They're going to become more and more obvious that they're shallow, more and more obvious. And if they're not doing their healing, it's going to become more stumbly. They're going to become more like everybody knows. Like, they're going to feel dirty. They're going to feel embarrassed. They're going to feel, it's just going to become more and more uncomfortable. And to the point where it is kind of like the player gives up in the game. So the game is shifting. And if the player isn't able to shift with the game, then the player won't stay in the game. And, that's what I've been saying for a while. And that's why we're going to have such a big mass exodus here coming up, because of, just because it's that time. It's the time that a lot of people, are just ready to leave. It's going to get intense. So anyways, the train's in motion. It's all going. There's no stopping it. This is going to happen. We are headed to a new age. We are ending an old one that was very toxic. In the new one, because it is this higher frequency, that we are taking the veils off. We're no longer participating in the game as we were. And we have to see the game. We have to realize the parts we played, the parts that we didn't realize that we were in a game, and heal those things, see ourselves as our true selves, and do all of that stuff. Because then when we get to the other part, it's a whole new game. It's a game where all the players are like that. There is going to be a lot more of like, hi, how you doing? Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Rather than this, like, what are you doing? Where are you going? How are you doing that? Like, there's a certain way that we've been dealing with people. Like, whatever, when people even show these videos of these Karens, it's an attitude of control of, and that's what we're breaking free from. So a lot of where we've heard people just be so snotty and hateful, it's going to turn into a completely different vibe, of kindness, of loving, and you'll see it. It will shift, more and more people will keep going in that direction, more and more and more. And, pretty soon it won't be people, just talking about Dolores Cannon and stuff like that. They'll, everybody will be more caught up. Everybody will be kind of more on the same page. But it's like everybody is on all different books. So it's like everybody's got to go through all the different books and all the different stuff to get themselves into a right mind, right state of mind for the next play. And so, but we'll all get to a certain space. It won't be like there's people that are all way ahead and stuff. There are going to be people who there's always going to be people who know more about certain things. And at times when people want to know about those things, those people will have their time to express. But the whole thing is, it doesn't mean anybody's more special or whatever, because everybody has certain things that they hold. Everybody has brought something in. And so everybody has a part they're playing, a role, something that they've brought to the party. It's like we've all gone to the to a giant, what is that thing called? It's called not Cosgrove, the book. It's called it's called man, it seems like it would be so easy. Why can't I get that? Sometimes you gotta see through, like there's like things interfering. But it's one of those things where everybody makes food. And man, we have them all the time when people have big parties. It's like bring a dish, it's called casserole coming in my head. No, it's not. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the actual party. And when everybody comes and brings their dish. But anyways, that is basically, that's what is going on here. Everybody has come and everybody's brought a dish. There's nobody who's come empty-handed. There's nobody who has less, is less or is less everything. Nobody is less potential. Nobody is less important. Nobody is less of anything. Everybody has something. And it's the different people may value other people's things in different ways. Like somebody could be like, well, this is all I'm doing and they're doing that. Well, goddamn, that's cool. I want to do that. And, that is where you're trying to take somebody else's role and it won't work. It'll just be frustrating and stuff like that. Like everybody has to have respect for every single different person's role and realize that the role was set from the beginning. Their life experience from the time they were born was setting them up for the role that they're here to play. So you can't just step in and go like, oh yeah, well, I like that guy's role better. That's what I'm going to be. I'm going to do what he's doing. That's, there's something that the universe was preparing him his whole entire time to get to that place. You weren't prepared for that. You were being prepared for your role. So all of your life experiences, the things that they were showing and teaching and helping you to understand was to prepare you for what you're here to play in the next role. So each person has their parts they're here to play, but they got to go through their healing. And nobody can make a mistake. If you're here to heal and you're here for the new age, it will happen. Your drive to do that, even if you feel like, man, I really want to heal. I know I'm here for the new age. I know I'm here for this. I just have felt this for my whole life, that I'm going to be living like the Jetsons. I knew that when like if that is, it's in your heart, then you go with that. Go with that. Even if like you're sitting there thinking that, but what, man, I still get so mad. I still go and eat junk all the time. I still get so frustrated. I fight with people. It's your awareness. See, you're becoming aware. You're noticing the things you're doing. That's the first step, noticing. Then, it's your challenges. What do you do with the information once you do it? And each person's going to do it different. Everybody's got their own approach to how they do things. And we can share how we do things, but everybody has their own, and nobody's doing it wrong, and nobody is doing it the only way possible to do it. There's multiple ways to do everything. And so, the the people that are going through the stuff, just man, I swear to God. It's so weird. So weird. Oh, just all of a sudden just disappears. Like, wait, what? What was I talking about? What was I saying? What was And I guess that's part of the problem when you're just listening to or trying to pick up on the stuff that's coming in real quick. Then it's like, what the fuck was I talking about? So anyways, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about today. It's almost been an hour. And, hopefully tomorrow I'll be more, less emotionally raw over the fucking trousers. So ridiculous. So ridiculous. I don't even know if those fucking trousers would fit me. And it's like, God, that bitch. She took my fucking trousers. And when my daughter's like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't notice it. They came out of the cart. I would have put them back. I was like, oh, it's okay. I'll trust the universe. Is like if they're meant to be mine, they'll be mine. If they're not, they're not. If they're that girl's, then that girl's. As soon as she bought, I was like, that girl. God damn it. Go back on, start looking and looking. Is there more? Is there more? Because there was a dress that I really wanted. It's a really cute sundress. And it's just these little strap things. And then the whole back is backless. And I really wanted that dress. And they have one of them in somebody is selling it for $45. So this is somebody who just put it in. And then they have another one of the exact same dress. One's a medium and one's a small. And the small one, though, is marked down for $23. So they've had it longer. And so they have the two dresses. So I went in looking to see if they had another pair of the pants. And then there was also this jumpsuit that I Free People always sends me their ads, and I try not to ever open them because I don't want to be a shopaholic, because I used to be. This is fighting my shopaholicism. So when last year, or I think it was last summer. I think it was right around that same time last year. And I opened it. It was the cutest jumpsuit. Oh my God, I was so in love with this jumpsuit. I didn't have the money to get it right then. And it was like a one piece. It was so cute. And so then I was like, oh, I'm going to start looking for that jumpsuit. Maybe someone sold that jumpsuit now. And I didn't find that. But anyways, but I do have to work on my shopaholicism. That's what it is. I gotta work on it. Still got triggers. Still got stuff where I was like, I'm ready to box that girl over a pair of trousers. Anyways, I think that's all. That's all I'm going to talk about today. That's all I can. Just really take notice of yourself. Just like me, take notice. Like, I'm very triggered about these trousers, but I know that I've got a horrible. That was one of my huge distractions was my shopaholicism. So I gotta, something I gotta work on, and I still can. Like right now, the whole time I've been talking, I'm sitting here thinking about my cart, like those things in there. Do I really want them? Do I want them? Maybe I want them. Maybe I don't want them. Maybe I. It's like, God damn, this is where I want my brain injury to just step in. We got you. I'm just gonna make you forget about that real quick. Oh, it just went away. It's just gone. I love when that happens. There's been so many times, and I used to hate it so much when I first got my brain injury. It was the worst. But then after a while, I started seeing like, oh my gosh, so I can have something happen. I can be really sad. And then all I got to do is go to sleep and I get up and I don't even remember it happened. Fuck, hell yeah. So then I started using it to my advantage. I'd be like, something would happen. I'd be so fucking pissed. I'd be like, okay, I'm just going to go to sleep so I can forget about it. And it worked. It would work. I'd get up and be like, I don't know, what the fuck you talking about? There was one thing one time, and it was, I kept remembering it for a couple days, but it didn't have the same effect. It was very much like, I was like, oh, yeah, I'm a little upset about it, but by the third day, I was like, oh, fuck it. So it's become something that I rely on now. Just take it away from me. Just take it away. But they're not just taking this away from me real quick, so that I have to, I don't know, face something. As I'm saying, when they want you to face something, they'll just stick it right in there, and then they won't stop until you do. And there's certain things, like you're allowed to do certain things up until a point, but at some point, you will be pushed into it. But it's not like you're doing the thing wrong. You're not ever doing it wrong. Your higher self always knew it was going to take you that many times. But it's for you, it's for your higher self to watch, to witness, like you, so you can see. So you can try and be like how the same thing as I'm saying, questioning ourselves. It's questioning yourself on a higher level. So it's all micro, macro, but it starts with us. And question who you are, what you're doing here. Question it all. Question everything. And just remember, it's all coming from within you. So you're the one who needs to fix it. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.